Hey Aries, thanks for joining me. So we're looking at the new moon and how it's affecting you, or how it's affecting you basically. So it peaked on the 27th at 7:07 Eastern Standard Time in the evening. Or if you're on the Pacific Coast, then it was like 4:07 p.m. GMT. It's like 12:07. So it was at 8 degrees Aquarius. So depending on if you know like where your degrees are, you'd be like that much more affected. But everyone will feel like it's affected in its own way. What this new moon is really speaking to is bringing more of yourself to help serve and heal others ultimately, but really doing it in the way that you know best and the way that inspires you. So that's really whatever is inspiring you. Aries are really oftentimes inspirational people, inspirational leaders. So we look to Aries usually for innovative and that get up and go kind of energy. And in Aquarius, this really speaks to your 11th house of friendships, associations, groups, unions, congregations, places where you belong to. So whether that's a membership of some kind, or even just like a brotherhood or sisterhood type of event that you belong to or that you go to, that would be also highlighted, and how you can bring more of that into the month ahead. Basically, is what this month and new moon is speaking to. So more specifically, when you think about Aries and Aries operating in Aquarius, this is really bringing like innovative or matching innovative ideas with it doesn't have to be aggressive, but assertive energy and that directness of the get up and go. Aries, air and fire often do work well together because they can be so collaborative and almost work off of each other, basically. It can be very electric. So wherever you feel this electricity in your collaborations, in your collectives, in your sanghas, if you will, then this is where you need to grow the opportunity for not just for you, but ultimately this new moon is speaking to whatever is lighting you up is also going to have the potential to light others up, as well as. And when this does happen, we have the opportunity to heal, and that's like an amazing thing. So moving forward into the 1st and the 2nd of the month, Mercury is in Capricorn, and for you this is speaking to conversations around or communications, emails, text messages, phone calls around your 10th house of achievement, success, status, what people see you and know you to be as the leader, the CEO, the one that other people look to as an authority figure, as a guiding light almost, but in that authoritative way, and in that way that you have knowledge to share and to disseminate. And it really comes with the basis of knowledge and hard work, because that's what Capricorn is really all about, and represented by Saturn. So at the beginning of the month we have Mercury in Capricorn, and it's squaring or makes a couple of squares at the beginning of the month. So it's squaring Uranus in Aries, and Uranus in Aries, sorry, and Uranus in Aries has been there since 2011 and will be until next year. So it's been very revolutionary in essentially obviously like communication, but transportation, but for you specifically, it's been like a revolution of self, who you've presented yourself to be, and how you want to change that. ultimately also feeling like you've been able to make growths in leaps and bounds, and to grow exponentially, that much further than you would have probably ever thought possible in such a short period of time. So we have like a kind of a conversation around you, what you're achieving in life and what other people know you as, and this can also represent the father too as well, 10th house, kind of having a conflict with the growth of self that you've been experiencing. And then the next day, Mercury in Capricorn is also squaring Jupiter in Libra, and Jupiter in Libra for you has been essentially like an expansion or growth, either through or because of relationships, because of contracts and associations and agreements. But oftentimes this comes up either as marriage, divorce, but that one-on-one partnership, that challenge the other, basically, and how we are reflected in the other. So we see like a communication around the way we show up and our status and community, status and how we status in community. With our personal relationships, or the growth there, and how we can kind of balance that out, which is interesting because then just a couple of days later, Jupiter actually goes retrograde, but I'll get into that in a minute. So following that, February the 3rd, Venus enters Aries for a few weeks, and Venus in Aries really just brings appreciation and affection around who you are, what you do, what you can offer, and what you are offering, just who you are as a person for yourself, and who you are for other people as well. And there are a lot of accolades coming your way because of that, and just overall appreciation and affection. So then coming back to February the 6th, Jupiter is going retrograde in Libra for several weeks, and again in your 7th house. That's why I was saying this conversation will be coming back up again, and this is more of an analysis, or a review of how you are growing through your experiences with other people, and what you need to do to adjust, and where you do need to adjust, as well as where you might have perhaps maybe bringing back in experiences with other people to be able to learn more, and kind of reviewing the learnings that have gone on and what else you can glean, basically, because we are this is essentially the midpoint of the Jupiter transit in Libra, so the Jupiter Libra transit, so a lot of lessons. This is like the midpoint of action, and what we feel like we need to do to be able to grow more, and to not stagnate. So moving forward, February the 10th and 11th, the lunar eclipse in Leo at 22 degrees is in your 5th house. So this is endings around children. It can be, when I say that can just show up as perhaps like there is an activity, because oftentimes the 5th house represents like an enjoyment or hobbies of fun, that leisurely type of energy. So this is the energy that comes up and can represent something ending around an activity for children, or even for yourself, as it does represent hobbies. Also light-hearted love affairs and experiences like that, things that make you feel young and youthful. So moving on to the 18th, February the 18th, the Sun enters Pisces. So for you, this is your 12th house of spirituality, things you do behind the scenes, things that people don't know about, secrets, all kinds of undercover experiences. So whether that's going to a therapist or just feeling like you want to delve deeper into your past, and maybe even your ancestral past, or past lives, for example, because this can also represent the occult. And then lastly, February 26th, there's a new moon in Pisces. So this again will speak to perhaps the sun highlighting these last issues that I was just speaking about. Will bring an awareness, because there is a new beginning on the 26th around these 12th house issues of spirituality and being quiet and meditative and behind the scenes, and a focus on things that you do behind the scenes. So things that other people don't know about, things you do for healing. So we could see something new starting there for you, as well as just a release or an opening. This could even represent issues coming to light that help to kind of expose what's happening, so you can then heal that much quicker than if it were covered up. So that's it for the month. Thanks so much, Aries, for watching, and I hope to see you next month. If you'd like a reading, please visit rawredemption.ca. Take care. Bye-bye.